Hello, can you hear me? We're gonna start soon. Hope everybody is able to join. We're gonna be using Zoom today, so I see Steve is there. Thank you for joining. And we have to see if everybody's gonna come over. Yeah, Sana is here. Okay, so we're gonna start very soon. I'm just waiting for everybody to join. And you can talk to me on Slack. Okay, so Allison and Simrat is joining. So you can either talk to me on, you can talk to me on Slack. And on the Tuesday class channel. So hello everybody, welcome again to our Tuesday class. Nice to see lots of you. And if you can join earlier, 5 minutes earlier. I start putting the link about 5:40. Yes, hello Theo. And somebody is on the class link. Yeah, hello you when if you can go to the Tuesday class. I know it's kind of confusing, but try to go to the Tuesday class channel. Just click on the Tuesday class channel and then you can say hi to everybody there. So we can all be in the same place, even though we're not virtually, we're not, I mean, physically we're not in the same place, but virtually can be in the same place. So Nikita, join. And I have a new feature for captions. If you don't want captures, you can turn it off on your Zoom. And some of the features of Zoom, you can turn it off. But it's a new thing that we're trying at the library. But if it gets you on the way, you can turn them off.
Oh, captions.
Yeah, the captions. So if you can turn, it's under more in the Zoom menu, go to more, and if you want to turn them off, you can. So they won't show up on your feed. Okay, so we have 11 people, so I think we can start. I'm gonna post everything on the Slack channel. Let me share this and then I'm gonna record. So let me stop. I'm gonna stop sharing, but I'm gonna reshare again. So don't worry about it. I have to reshare. So I'm gonna reshare this, my screen. I don't have two screens today, but I have an iPad, so you're gonna see me. And I'm gonna have to record this, unmute myself there. So I'm gonna make sure this is recording. Okay, this is, so you should be able to see my Slack screen. Sometime I'm gonna use my iPad to answer the uh, the Slack. So welcome everybody again on Tuesday, and I hope I get everybody in. Yeah, so I'm recording, and also this is gonna go to YouTube. So hopefully, like I said, if the internet gods behave tonight, I'm gonna be able to send you the link for the for the recording on YouTube. So YouTube is recording it as I speak. So hopefully I can do the same thing I did last week, and everybody can have the class and watch it tonight if you guys want. So let's see. Oh, this is Allison. Okay, yeah, I know. You joined. Yeah, you went join as Allison, but she's telling me. So you went. If you want to go to move from class link here to Tuesday class, that's where everybody is. Uh, so that's awesome. Okay, one of the things I want to talk to do today, yeah, that she's here, is if you have not, you might want to check out the CS50B on EDX. Remember, we're referring on this class on CS50 business. So you might want to take the first test. It's about algorithms and sequence and computational thinking. I think if you watch the video and you came to the class the last 2 weeks, you're able to take that test and get out of the way for the first week on CS50, CS50B on edx.org. And you get out of the way and you have your first pass step to get the whole certificate. So that's an easy test. It's gonna ask you our algorithm, and you're gonna have to write a short algorithm, a short pseudocode, and I think you might be ready to do it if you want to. And so then it gets score, and you get, if you pass, then that's the first test, and I think there are about 5 more tests that you have to do. So that's a good deal to get. You get a certificate from edx.org, and then you can put it on your resume or on your college application, whatever you're doing. Okay, any questions for me from last week? So the homework was to practice. I put here on the homework discussion. I'm gonna stay here. I'm not gonna put, you don't have to go here to the homework discussion. I just gonna show you, this was the homework. I know some of you asked me what was the homework. So it was to practice Scratch. I made a video here, and you can go to Slack and see it. How to sign up into Scratch, how to create, which is what we did last week. Then how to follow me and follow each other. If you have a friend here, you want to follow somebody, and also how to follow the studio. So I'm not going to show that here because I made a video and you can follow this, and practice looping on a Scratch. So I practice a repeat loop. So are there any questions about looping on Scratch at this point? So any questions? No questions? No questions, but there is always somebody who wants to ask a question. And if you're shy, you can ask me in private the question. I'm trying to make these things work here on this iPad. the Zoom. I think the Zoom is stuck on this iPad. So I don't have, I'm gonna open it here. Okay, so no, anybody else? I know, so maybe some for you was easy is maybe reboot the house. I don't understand that, but you don't have to reboot scratch. It works on the on the web, but anybody else has, oh, my iPad, yeah, yeah, thank you. If I reboot it, it'll mess up my mess up everything else, and then I won't be paying attention to you, so I have to do it later. It's working on my iPhone Wi-Fi, so it's running slow. So for now, it's okay. Thank you, Theo. So anybody has, if you haven't start with Scratch, it's okay. You can, oh, Samad made something. Okay, I'm gonna click on that. If you haven't started Scratch, it's okay. You see if you can do it this week. Yeah, this is Samad. So
Start.
he made this game, and if I click the space key,
Roar.
oh, that's
Roar.
cool. That's very cool. And I click the apple.
Apples, am I right?
Oh, that's really
Apples,
nice.
am I right?
And then I can go inside, but I will have to sign in. So let me go, if I can go inside. And the volume is really up on this. Okay. So let's see if I can go inside and everybody can see what. So this is Samad made, and he did a forever loop here. So he did a construction of a loop. And of course, it seems like he knows a little bit more Scratch that I have taught you about positions and layers. So this is a very high-tech thing. So that's a good, but I would like to see other people. It doesn't have to be as complex as this, because the idea of using Scratch, if you get used to working on algorithms, working on creating sequence, working on pseudocode, has to have the process mentally of creating a pseudocode and then trying an iteration and going back and forth and fixing your project. So very good. Thank you, Samad, for doing this. And I'm gonna add it to the studio. So I'm gonna, oh, it's already on the studio. But if you wanna see how to add the studio, you'll have to follow the studio, and I'll show you that on the video, and then you can add the studio here. And I have many because I've been using Scratch for a long time. Okay, so I'm gonna put this is what we're gonna do today. So I'm gonna, as usual, you have this on Slack. If you go on Tuesday class, is pinned all the way up here. So you can go here where it says, this is the class schedule. And remember, this is where I put also the links for Zoom. So next week it'll be here, the link for Zoom. So you don't have to, oh, there is somebody waiting there, sorry. If anybody is on Slack and they need to be admitted and I haven't admitted you, please let me know on Slack. Because I have a lot of windows and Zoom doesn't tell me if somebody's admitted, like it doesn't have a good alert system. So if anybody needs to be admitted, just let me know on Slack, because Slack will let me know. It has a very good alert system. So So you can go here on Slack and on Tuesday class and find the class, the course schedule. And then on week 0.2, we have the lesson for today. I'm gonna share this and I'm gonna put it on the Tuesday class right here. And now you have it and I'm gonna pin it so it's easy to find. So you can click there and look at the lesson for today. And so what we're gonna do today is experimenting and iterating and testing and debugging. So today it's gonna be more, I'm gonna show you, you all are gonna have to, I hope, get used to go into Scratch and moving things around, and things don't work the first time, going back again and try it and tweak it. And that's called iteration. And if you are in computer science, you have to get used to do that, because it's like when you do a painting, or if you are building something on Legos or building something outside, you have to go and tweak and tweak and tweak many times until it's solved the problem. So it has to solve the problem. So how do you know that you're done? So does the script work correctly and is well styled? And does the script solve the problem? So remember we talked last week about the is the cat was moving or not? And we knew the cat was moving because the code was telling us the cat was moving, but we didn't see it moving. Therefore, it was not solving the problem. So we had to make it look like the cat was moving. And today we might do one like that. Here, where it says sequence, you had Scratch works in sequence, and most of programmings work in sequence. So when you, let me go to my studio. I have another setup than all of you because I have a teacher's account. So my Scratch looks a little bit different than yours. So don't get nervous, it doesn't look like that. So for example, if I go here what Samad made, he has to keep a sequence of steps. So the way Scratch works, it starts at the top and moves to the bottom. So the first item, the first action is when the flag is clicked. The second step will be to move this to the below layer. This is a issue with the image, you don't have to worry about it. Then the next step is to tell the X position, the Y position. Then it tells them to move to the specific position, and then it starts the loop. And inside the loop, then there is independent steps. So this is the first step, this is the second step, and then you have a conditional. So the way it works, you always start from the top and move to the bottom. So the sequence starts, the top action is the first action. The one following right below is the second action. So that's the way you read a sequence. So you have to get used to that way of thinking. There is a video here. I'm not gonna play it because it takes too long, but after the class, I suggest you to watch it and explains in detail what a sequence is. So it always starts with an event. In Scratch, we always start with an event. And when we go to line coding, it's also almost like an event, but it's a language, it's a terminology we use in computer science in an event. So it's what makes the script run. So in this case, it's a flag. If you have a phone, your script is gonna run when you click something in your phone. So that's the event. If when somebody's clicking the send button in an email, or when somebody is clicking the flag on Scratch. So that's what makes the script start running. So that's the first event. And then you need to ask yourself what's going to happen. So I'm sure when Samad was writing this, he has to anticipate. I want, if I put this here, go backwards or go to this, what does it mean? So you have an idea of what it has to happen. You write it in code and you have to evaluate. And this is the testing part. If what you wanted to happen matches what you wrote. So you anticipate and then you test it and you want to know, you want to do a prediction. This is what I think this is going to do. And then you test it and then you are proven right or wrong on your prediction. So you have to get used to reading the code. And that comes with experience. And this is one of the things you have to experiment. All of you, if you are not used to do this, you have to be able to experiment. It's like when you do watercolor, it's not a perfect science. If you have too much water, you can control it. So you have to be comfortable with making mistakes and also be a little bit wrong and be able to pick it up and say, well, I'm wrong, but I want to learn no more. I want to try again and not get discouraged. Then we're going to do some debugging. And debugging, we talked about last week about a bug is something that is not letting our script work correctly. So it doesn't solve the problem and something in the script is not right and we need to fix it. And this is like 80% of what happens when you are in computer science. You have to fix things constantly. And you will know that because I'm sure you get updates. I get updates every week on my phone of things that software providers are fixing. So that's debugging. We're gonna do some debugging. And I have here an example. And also you can click here. Let me click here. And I'll show you. If you click here, you're gonna go to the first debugging exercise that we're gonna do. So if you have this document on your computer, you can just click on it and it'll take you. Also, I'm gonna put this on Slack. So this is the first one and there are many. We're gonna do maybe one or two. And also if you click here, no here, I didn't put it here, but here's the next one. And I put here, so here is the skills, this is the homework. So in the homework, I put more information about debugging right here. So for homework, I suggest you do all the debugging. So you're gonna click here in exercises. And then these are all the debuggings you'll have to do. I suggest you to do it to get practice. And the URL for each one is right here. May make it a little bit bigger so you can see it. No, there. So you can see here is the URL and it tells you what you need to fix. So you just take this URL, you copy paste it on a browser, and then you get to the right place. Okay. So remember to that, this is great. This is the meat of this. If you can do this, you are good. And if you can do half of this, you are good too. So it's just the act of not giving up. That's very important. So let's do one and then I'll do conditionals and we have time, we're gonna do more. So I'm gonna click here on the debug one, like I'm gonna show you again. And you have to be signed in on Scratch. So make sure you are signed in. If you are doing it now, please sign in. and I put this on Slack. So you just click on the link I put on Slack and it's gonna take you here. And then make sure you are signing with your Scratch account. And then let me make this a little bit smaller because it's too big. There. So so everybody can see it. Can see debug 1.1. You can tell me on Tuesday class channel if you can see it. Okay, cool. Okay, so, okay, thank you very much. So the first thing you have to do, you have to be signed in. We haven't done remixing, but I'm gonna show you how to do remixing. But to do remixing, no, she can see. Okay, you went. So you went, are you using a cell phone or maybe there is a delay? Oh, you have issues on your side? Okay, but remember this is gonna be all safe recorded, so you can do it later after the class. So so remember to remix it, you have to be signed in. So you have to have your account right here. Then you're gonna click here on remix. So remix is gonna make it yours. So you can edit it, and then it's gonna give credit to the author. So the original author was Scratch Education Team. This is a part of Scratch there in MIT Media Lab that makes these lessons. So they are the authors. So it's gonna give credit to the author. So I'm gonna remix it. Fix your version before I hit remix. Yeah, if you don't hit remix, it won't save it. Janet, you can fix it, but it won't save it. So most of the time it won't save it. So that's why I remix it so it's saved. So then now it's got remix. I'm gonna go back to the project page. So good question. And then it says the project is not shared, so only you can see it. So this is, I'm gonna leave it like that for now because I don't want to mess up I don't want to put too many of this out there. But for you, you can share it and put it on the EBPL Studio. So I'm gonna just put it here. I'm gonna put the date so I know when I did this, because what happened, I do this every 6 months. So then I get confused and my students get confused. So I'm gonna put September 24th, this is today's date, and I'm gonna share it. When I share it, it's not private anymore, anybody can see it. So I'm gonna share it. So I'm gonna share it, and then I'm gonna add it to the studio. So remember, you have to follow the studio first in order to show up. And I'm gonna go here where it says EBPL. I click here, and now it's part of the studio. I suggest you all do that so I can see your project and how you fix it. So what is the instructions? The instruction here, what we have to fix. So this is what the hint they give us, what is not working. Yeah, okay, just put it in the studio, Janet B. Just put it in the studio. So after the class, I see everybody's. So when the green flag is clicked, both Gobo and Scratch should start dancing, but only Scratch Cat starts dancing. So let's test it and see if that's true. So this is a statement, and we have to verify the statement is true. So I'm gonna click the flag, and the cat is dancing, but Gobo, which is the sprite on the left, is not dancing. So we have to make him dance. He should be dancing. So I'm gonna go inside to fix the code. And the way I check it is I go here to the sprite. I click on Scratch Cat. It's gonna give me the script for the Scratch Cat. And I see here when the flag is clicked, he's gonna say dance, which is what happened. And then it's gonna repeat 10 times and then say fun. So I'm gonna click the flag again and see if it follows this sequence. So it says dance party. Then it's gonna rotate back and forth 10 times. Then it's gonna say fun. And then it's gonna move again. So yeah, that's correct. The code matches what the cat sprite is doing. So what's going on with Gobo? So with Gobo, we're gonna click on Gobo right here. And we see a very similar code. So you go to Scratch, it's very similar. It's the same code, but something is missing. So anybody can tell me what is missing. Some of you already solved it, so I'm sure comes out easy. So something is missing and it's not making the script start. Yeah, missing the flag. So remember when last week I told you this has a wire to a block. What is the block that is missing? Is here under event. So this is like a light bulb doesn't have a wire. It's a switch doesn't have a wire. It's like if you go to Lowe's tomorrow and you buy a switch, you can click back and forth the switch, but nothing's gonna happen until you get the wire attached to something, to a light bulb or a motor. So to add that studio, I'm gonna repeat it again, Afsana, but there is a video on Slack under the homework discussion where you can also see the video. So I'm gonna do that again. So we go here to events. So if we're here, we go to events, we move this block and then we attach it and then we test it again and we see if they're both dancing. So now they're both dancing at the same time. So one of the things interesting, this is what we call parallelism. Parallelism is two codes in parallel. So what you're doing, you're starting because you have a start here, a flag, you have the same event for Gobo and you have the same event for the cat. That means when I click the flag, you're gonna run, the two codes are identical, so you're gonna run these two codes at the same time. So two sprites are gonna move at the same time. So they're moving in parallel. So that's, we call that running in parallel. So you can have two sprites or two devices doing the same thing at the same time. So you do that with code and it's an identical code. Okay, so this is fixed. We tested, and one of the things about debugging is we always have to test. So we go back here, and what was the problem? The Gobo wasn't dancing. So we click here, and now Gobo is dancing. So we fixed it, and we're done with this one. So somebody wanted to say, how do we add it to an studio? So you go here at the bottom, you say add studio, and then you can add your studio, but you need, if you wanna add it to the eBPL studio, you need to follow eBPL. So you just click that one and click OK. So if you haven't, I'm gonna sign out of here. And I'm gonna sign as somebody else really quick. So you can see how to add if you don't follow studio. So I'm gonna go here, make this a little bit bigger there. I'm gonna search eBPL and then I go here, studios. There is somebody wanted in. And then I go here, EBPL Studio, and then I go follow. Okay, so that's the way you follow. And then when you go, you have a project that you want to add there. So if I have this one and I want to add it to the studio, well, first I have to share it, and then I'm going to have to add the studio. And I cannot add you to the studio, you have to add yourself to the studio. So, okay, it's getting ready. So now it's share. I'm gonna just refresh it. And I'm gonna add, and I don't know why. Oh, I have to approve everybody. Maybe, let me see. I'm gonna go to my studio and see. Okay, I have here activities. So that should work. Let me go back here. EBPL, maybe I didn't join it. So studio, EBPL studio, and then I'm following. And then I'm gonna add a project. You can add a project here to add a project. And then I'm gonna add this one. And that's another way to add it. If I go here, yeah, and let's add something else, see if it lets me add something else. Add the studio. So it's not showing up. So the way it's not showing up, it's gonna show tomorrow because Scratch has, the team of Scratch is very small. So the site doesn't get right away, but I was able to add. So there is a question. My username is Tiger U. Can you sign me in? So if you want to follow, you just need to search for EBPL, and then you need to look studios, and then you find the studio and just put follow. So if you don't follow, just follow. I don't understand what you want by, what you mean by what can you sign me in? I don't understand. So you can clarify. Okay, so we got the first debugging done. So great. So the next thing will be to do 1.3 and all of them. If you can do all of them, will be great, be wonderful. So let's hold this one here for now, and let's go and talk about conditionals. So any questions about debugging? So I'm looking at my on my iPad for the Slack, and I don't see any questions. Everybody's okay so far, or everybody's lost? So we have a couple people, and the other ones are quiet, so I'm guessing that maybe you all need more time, because I have a lot of people here on the participant list, but I don't see everybody signing into Slack. If you are here on Zoom and you are not on Slack, please try to use Slack, or try to send me message after the class. I mean, if you are on a train, on a bus, and you're hardly be able to look this, send me a Slack message after the class when you can, so I know where you are. If you are lost, please let me know. I'm lost, I haven't understand anything. Or if you're just watching to see if you still want to do this, that's okay. You can let me know. Also, remember to do the survey If you haven't done it, I always forget to mention it. It's all the way up here. And I think I sent it to you by email. I sent you two versions, the desktop and the mobile. So if you are in a tablet or a phone, you can use a mobile. So please do that sometime this week. I will greatly appreciate it, because otherwise I don't know how many people are really interested in these classes. And then that helped me to offer the next classes. And also it will help me because if you want to sign in to the Python class next month, um, I I can just, you don't have to sign in, you can just tell me and I just use your information, sign you in. You don't have to do anything. You just tell me, I want to sign in, and I'll have your information on the survey. Okay, cool. We're gonna move on. So conditionals. So conditionals are if and then situations, or they are binary decisions. So yes or no, on and off, true, false, 1, 0 are conditionals. So if you don't do your homework, you don't get to watch TV. That's a conditional. If you you know, if you eat uh too much, then you don't get to fit in the clothes that you want to buy next month. So those are conditional. So if you do something, something's gonna happen. So one example here is from Sheldon Cooper from Big Bang Theory. So this is called a flow chart. Last 2 weeks ago, I didn't remember how to call this. I had to do this, a ton of this in college, and I totally forgot, and at work. So I can't believe I forgot. But he created this flowchart, which is an algorithm. It's a way to draw an algorithm visually. So any of these diamonds is a decision or a conditional. So it will have two choices. So it could be, sometimes could be yes and no, like this one. So what is the response? Yes or no? Or here, if you get a phone call, remember this is a friendship algorithm. Sheldon Cooper has a hard time making friends, so he had to draw himself an algorithm so he remembers how to get friends. So if he gets a phone call, he plays a phone call, and there is a choice that uh, if he calls, if he's home, he will say, would you like to share a meal? If he's not home, if his prospective future friend is not home, he will leave a message. So this is a condition. Either you do this or you do this. So there are always two choices. And you have to be very careful that there are only two choices, only two choices. So it's a very, sometimes people it's a logical statement. So you have to be sure what are the two choices, because the computer cannot read ambiguous choices. So it's either you're home or you're not home. It's either you have a red sweater or you don't have. So it's not like, do you have a red sweater? Do you have a yellow sweater? Do you have a blue sweater? No, it's either one or the other. So so the problem with condition is when the people who create the conditional, write the code for the conditional, is not clear what the two choices are. And that's when you create, you have to debug and you have to go back to the algorithm because it's not gonna work correctly. Or it's gonna work 60% of the time. So you have to be very precise about what those conditions are. So here is my first example. And I have this one on the studio. Or I didn't add it. So I had to add it to the studio. Oh, there it is. It's on the studio. So you can see it later. So I'm gonna put it on Slack so you can click on it. So that's an example of conditionals. And we're gonna click a flag and let the balloon go up. So here's the conditional. If it's at the edge, and in this case, it will be the top edge, what's gonna happen? So if anybody says, so the condition is if the balloon touches the top, what is gonna happen? And only when it's on the top, a sound will play. Thank you. So here it says if on edge, and I specify the top edge because it could be, there are 4 edges, a sound will play. So I'm gonna click here and see what happened. And it's gonna keep going until the balloon is not touching the edge. One of the interesting things that happens in Scratch is that while the sprite keeps touching the edge, it's gonna make the sound because something I did. If you don't do that, it's only one time, but I did something here. I did a repeat loop. So the balloon will, while it's touching the edge, it'll make the sound. So I'm gonna do this as an illustration of how to read the code. So anytime you want to read somebody else's code, you either do it in your mind. I usually do it, this is something I've been doing since I was a freshman in school. I usually talk loud because when I talk about it, it's kind of, I understand. And then somebody who is with me, my colleague or my team, can tell me if I'm wrong. So, and I do this in class, and sometimes some of you will tell me, no, you read it wrong, because I have to make sure I get the right meaning of each line of code. In this case, a block of code. So if you, anytime you find that I did something incorrectly, please use Slack. That's why we use Slack. So when the flag is clicked, there is a loop. So there is this action inside the loop is gonna repeat 10 times. So what are the actions? First, it's gonna move 10 steps. I'm gonna do something here. I'm gonna move it. I'm gonna drag it down. So it's gonna move 10 steps. And one of the things I did, I put the direction to make the balloon move all that way. I can move it to the right, but I will have to move this. So in this case, it's just, so the direction of the 10 steps is vertical. So it's gonna, the balloon is going to move 10 steps, then it's gonna stop. And if touching, it's gonna stop for 1 second. If touching the edge, it's gonna sound the sound that you all hear. And it's gonna do this 10 times continually. And then when it finishes the loop, it's gonna glide to this position. Okay, so let's try again. You can see now, compare what the balloon is doing versus what the code says is happening. Okay, so you can see now it's happening. Some of you saw that before the balloon went 10 steps, it hits the edge. So that's why I have this inside the loop. So it's gonna keep checking. It's gonna do 10 steps, and then it's gonna wait. But if at any time it's touching the edge, it's gonna sound. So I can make it a little further down. And you see, it's gonna, sometimes it's gonna stop. So see, it never got here, it never got to touch the edge, so it never sound. it never trigger the sound. So let's try it again. Because it will only happen when it's on an edge, any edge. It could be this one, it could be this one, it could be the left, it could be the right. So that we never had a sound because it never touched the edge. So I'm gonna move it a little closer. So I'm gonna move it here where it's not even gonna go 10 steps. Okay, so that's our first conditional. So this is a conditional. If any time it's touching the edge, this is gonna happen. The sound will play. There is another conditional that we can do. It's already a block. We don't have to customize it like that. We can also put if on edge bounds. So we can take this conditional here and try this one. So it bounds. So that's another way to do it. Or we just do here, we do control if, then we do here motion, it's not motion, what did I do? Sensing. So we go to sensing and touching, and this gonna go, this diamond goes inside here, and then I'm gonna change it to edge, and then I'm gonna go here to sound, and I'm gonna do start sound. I'm gonna do a start sound and no play sound until done, because what has happened is it's only the sequence, the next step is gonna happen only when the whole song ends. So it's a different way of having the same thing. So we go back here. So see it, why it's going down? Because I changed it. See, I changed it. I didn't notice I changed it. So it started going down, but we can leave it going down too, do something different. So any questions so far? Does this make sense? You want me to explain it again? Anyone wants me to explain it again? Okay, so if you want more information, there is a wonderful video here that is made by the Scratchhead team. It's gonna tell you way more information about conditionals. So that's the whole thing about conditionals. Just practice for now, create your own conditionals. Take this one, so you go to your, you're gonna go here to your, on your Scratch account, go to EBPL, Studio, no project, Studios, and you click here, find the conditional, and I don't know where it went. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. So find this, no, this is a balloon game. Here it is. Find this one, is all the way to the bottom. I don't know if, click on it, remix it. It doesn't show the remixing for me because I own it. Remix it. And what you're gonna do for homework for this week is remix it, change the sprite. So this could be a dinosaur. I had a dinosaur before and I changed it to a balloon. Change the background, add a different sound. So you can put like a dinosaur, and you're gonna see in the example on the video, there is a dinosaur kind of like Godzilla, and you can put a sound more scary than a balloon. And then the challenge, make the sprite go to a different edge. So it doesn't have to go to the top. It can go to the right or to the left. So that's the homework to remix, and you can do all kind of other remixes. I mean, Scratch is wonderful for creativity. So for the homework, remember to do, and I'm gonna put the link here, so you all can go and do that. And if you have any questions, let me know. I keep checking my Slack to see if there are any questions. Um, so we have that. And the other thing to work on is on the debugging. So the next debugging, we're not going to have time to do it. It's almost 7 o'clock. Is to do more debugging. Um, this one, I just gonna show you what's going on. This is kind of what we did last week. You click the space key, and is the cat moving? Is the cat rotating? So, so the question is the code telling the cat to rotate a whole revolution? You can tell me on Slack. Yes, but why is not happening? It's not happening. Well, you don't see it, right? No, we're using something called a space, the space key. So the space key, we don't have to use the flag. You use the space key on your keyboard. So there's something a little bit different. You can go here to events and actually choose different key on your keyboard. So in this case is that, so somebody already said the answer is going too fast for us mortals, right? We cannot see it going. I'm keep pressing it and something is happening, but it's not happening. And that might have happened to you sometime on the internet or even operating software. You know it's happening, you know things are working, but you don't see it happening. So how would you make it so we can see it, that is turning 360? Yeah, so we can add weight. So we go here to control, and then for us humans, as mortals, we need to do that because otherwise we cannot see. Okay, so you can add, and I think you can even add 0.5 here. So you can do some kind of animation on that and make it rotate really fast or really slow, or even you can also put a forever loop and it'll keep spinning and spinning like one of those, what's it called, those spinners things that kids used to have a couple years ago. So so play around with that. Remember to remix it so it's safe in your account. And if you have any question, let me know, and try to go through all the, if you have time, to all the debugs. So you're gonna find them. I have links, but I also put them down here. So you're gonna see here 1.1, 2.3, 2.4 is, if you like challenges, this is a good challenge, and 2.5, and then goes to 3. And next week, we're gonna do Oscar time. So so work on that. And then the last project, because next week is gonna be our last class, is gonna be Oscar time. Okay, so that's gonna wrap up everything. So I know it's going very fast, this class. So if you have any question, let me know. And I can answer through Slack. So so we're done for today. So if you have I'm gonna stay on Slack for a little bit if you guys have any questions, but I'm gonna stop now and send you uh, the recorded session very soon. So all you have great night and see you next week. Bye-bye.